One, 2.1, approval of the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, 3.1, we got an attachment of minutes. Everybody's been able to, should have had a chance to read them. Any additions or corrections?
Chair, I have seen,
Okay.
About to lose my voice tonight. Under normal circumstances, the minutes would certainly be adequate, but it's been brought to my attention. I got a call Friday night that the video, the 8/20/2024 meeting has no audio for the first 25 minutes. And that covers all of items 1 through 6 and at least half of item 7, which was the presentation by Mr. Boltes. So we, excuse me. So we missed all of the public comments. I think Stephen Rader spoke on Title IX, and of course that was in the minutes, that much. Bishop Ham, Pastor Squires, Ms. Squires, they had their remarks about having no pre-K class at Snowden Elementary and their concerns about the future for Snowden School. After that, we missed Mr. Carlton's recognition of the substantial Aurora delegation attending the meeting, and we missed my own statement of support for the community served by Snowden School. And somewhere between there and item 7, I made the motion in favor of the resolution against Title IX, which we have on the agenda tonight. So with these minutes paired with the flawed video, we don't really have any way of really what transpired during that first 25 minutes in the meeting. No fault to Ms. Apple, but we, she gave the kind of the headings, which is what we've been doing, and you could fill in the blanks with the video, but this time we couldn't do that. So I think we need to look at that. I don't know the way it is now, I can approve.
All right.
I'm just curious, when someone comes in with public comments, or when really any of us have any kind of prepared statement that we feel like needs to be made during the meeting, could we just give a written outline that, or a written summary, or a written record of that, and present it so that it could be attached to the minutes?
I'll see what I can.
So in the case of situation where there were some comments last meeting about Snowden, I think the people did a good job. Of course, all the comments that we get, public comments, are relevant and are good comments for our consideration. But if we ask those people that spoke if they would prepare a document of their comments, a summary of their comments, so that it could be attached to our minutes, so that there would be a permanent record of what was brought to our attention. So I just wanted to bring that up and see if anybody had any objection to that. I don't know what we want to do about the approval of the minutes from this time, but we would like to, I would personally like to see if anybody is willing to stand up and make comments in our meeting, and if they're willing to document those and turn them in, I would like to see them as attachments to our minutes.
I agree.
Does anybody
Be
have,
good.
and I'd like to know if there's anybody has any objections to that?
I think that's a great idea.
I don't have an objection, but I don't think we should require that if someone
No.
has a public comment. I don't want to prevent them from doing
Right.
it because they don't have it written down. Does that
Correct.
make sense?
If they choose not to do
Encourage
that,
them, but-
yes.
But they don't always come in with everything they say written down, and I don't want that to be a deterrent.
Of course, I don't know that we've had the issue with the video until now, and I guess that could work. But Gary's proposal actually solves the whole thing. If you have, I suppose it wouldn't be that hard if you had the copy to get it in there.
Yeah, we can just ask them when they get done if they want to hand a copy for minutes.
What do you think,
We
Ms.
can add
Apple?
it to it.
what?
No.
No.
Are you talking about copies of the comments
Yeah,
last,
I don't think I
last
have a
meeting?
copy.
We don't have copies, but
Yeah.
if those people were willing to supply them at this point in time, would we be able to
Yeah.
amend our
Yeah.
minutes and attach them?
Yeah, you can attach them.
Okay. I think that would be good. We rely on our video for a lot. Most people that are willing to go out there and look at the video are interested in the detail.
There's actually a lot more people than you think. I've had numerous calls about that video, what happened in those minutes, and I'm like, yeah. So, you know, it's people do rely on it. Yeah, I know they do. I found out.
So with this one case, you want to pass it with the,
Table it.
We'll table it.
Table the minutes until the corrections are made.
It's fine,
I'm good with that.
yeah.
I move we table it to the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. 4.1, Washington Elementary School update, Dr. Cheeseman and Jimmy Height, our architect. Y'all have a couple attachments. Where do you want to start, Jimmy? Or Chief? Dr. Cheeseman?
Start with Mr. Hood.
Yep,
Put those up, and I can stand right here.
Yep.
So y'all can see me. Sure. So, just to be brief about where we are. So, the school has essentially been designed. We are completing construction details at this time. What I'm gonna show you, just a few of the sheets, is 200-300 pages of documents that comprise the plan set for the school. But to give you an idea, take you through the site plan, and the building design, and we'll talk a little bit after that about our schedule for the video. So, the site, and buses are separate patterns. You can see the building is here. This is circulation from cars. There's a double queuing lane here. The drop-off and pickup, and there's a drop-off and pickup area here, along with staff parking. And the main entrance to the building is also here, with visitor parking, adjacent to it. So the automobile students will come in. Bus students, buses will come in out of Pennsylvania. To get in and out of the cars. We gotta get strapped in and make sure they're in the car seat. So we're gonna separate them. They're still coming in here in the cars, but they've got a separate drop-off spot here. This road also doubles as the code-required fire lane, emergency fire lane around a big building like a school. So it's got double use, but this is a much more convenient place for the 4-year-olds. And there's a covered walk from here to the building, just like there is for the bus here. And of course, the auto drop-off is at a covered area. So that's the way the automobiles circulate. There's staff parking here. There's staff parking here, which is the existing lot that's there now. There'll be an entrance to the school from the staff parking here, again with a covered canopy. And there's also some staff parking over here. Playground area is here. There's also a playground area here. There's one here, and there's a play court here. And the play court is designed specifically for our special needs kids. On the site.
Jimmy, I know there's been discussion of the retention pond.
Yes,
Where is it located now?
we have three. There'll be one here, there'll be one here, and there'll be one here.
Okay. Okay.
Other questions about the site? If not, we'll move to the building. The next slide, and I apologize, it's still a little hard to see. But you'll recognize the shape from the site plan. So here's that auto drop-off spot. And the bus area is here. The 4-year-olds will come in here, as well as the buses and 4-year-olds will come in here. At the front of the school, the administration area, the lobby here is fairly wide. That's a secure corridor, so it's doors, electronic locks, buzz-ins from reception, security film on the glass, that sort of thing. And across the lobby is the media center. And in the media center, there's also a STEM space, a maker space, where kids can get their hands on things like robotics and 3D printers and other technologies. There's a resource room as well. In this building, moving this way, there's art, there's music, there's storage areas, and then there's multi-purpose for school programs and indoor play. So we've got a stage here, and we've got chair storage. We've also got a folding wall between the multi-purpose and the cafeteria, so that we can pull the wall back, we can bring in the parents for larger programs, we can fill that space up. We've got chairs, as well as we've got cafeteria tables, so quite a lot of people can be seated for programs. And then, of course, beside the cafeteria is the kitchen area, and we've got mechanical boiler space back here. So that's that front building, what we call the 100 unit. Administration, media, multipurpose, cafeteria. I guess I would also point out that there are entrances along here that face the parking lot that's in front. So for events, say, in the multipurpose area, cafeteria, or media center, that part of the classroom part can be blocked off, and this can be used. So this big building back here looks a little bit like a dog bone, I guess. Is separated from the front building with these two enclosed connectors. So they're like 14 feet wide. It's a nice wide hallway. And it creates this court that we talked about that's for our special populations and our pre-K. So first grade, kindergarten, first grade, pre-K, special populations, and second grade and third grade here. There's a total of 57 classrooms. There are 9 resource rooms, which are small classrooms to pull out kids or small groups of kids for special instruction. Teacher staff areas, lounge areas. We've got a nice open area on either side that can be set up for call it collaboration space. It can be set up for teachers and students, combinations. Sometimes in the old days we call it student commons, but there's much more functionality to these spaces than just a place for people to circulate. They can be set up for some educational functions. $973 is the DPI calculated capacity, so that's an important number too. And I think we one other feature is that the school is designed so that 4 classrooms can be added to this end and also this end. So if you ever needed to add classrooms, you could add 8 without much effort. Obviously, there's other solutions that might gain you more, but you could easily add 8 to this plan. Are there any questions about the way the floor plan works or tracking? Samples of exterior elevations, you can see that we like to use pitched metal roofs. We like to put overhangs on the roofs. We think that's the way schools ought to be built. Keeps the water away from the inside of the building, keeps it off the walls. That's the entrance. That's the entrance to the school from the auto drop-off. This is actually a cut line, so this piece actually goes over here. So that's the way that works, the way the drawings are. And you can go to the next slide. Next couple are just additional examples. That's one of the glass connectors that connects the front building to the back building. And the next slide, more of the same, classroom wing. Next slide, classroom wing, next slide. Construction sections that show how the walls are built. We're actually using some recommended methods with this school based on our recent last experiences that tell us that mixing load-bearing walls with steel frame walls saves money. So we're hoping to save some money by employing some load-bearing walls as well as steel frames with columns. And the last slide shows a hallway, and then we use these platforms over the hallways. You've got a ceiling here in the hallway like this, so you don't see this concrete that's above. But on that concrete platform is where the mechanical units live, and the water heaters, and the electrical panels. We run the piping up here. There's fresh air ducts, and then there's cable trays for all the data, so they can go up and add wires and modernize the system as the years go by. And that is a sample of what we've been working on for the last many weeks. Are there any questions about anything that you've seen? Yes, sir.
On page 4, is that approvable? I'm looking at it.
No, it's just a tall
Just a
space.
tall space,
It's
but
in,
not
it's
windows.
in the entrance. It's at the entrance, it's just a tall
We
space.
don't want glass.
No.
We've experienced that with some other schools.
Had way too much trouble with
Clean
cooling.
them and
Right,
they're pretty,
right.
you know.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They're pretty, but they're kind of a nightmare over the years.
Thank you.
What, man?
I said, that's that other architect we got.
We understand.
Hey, pronounce his name right.
But,
No
yes,
water.
sir. Just the A-frame with no
What is
duct.
Well, there are boxes for each classroom that sit on that platform. They're about this big, so they're not real big. You got plenty of room around it to work. There's one for each classroom. And there are bigger ones, obviously, for the bigger spaces. The gymnasium will probably have 2, but all of the classrooms will have their own. And there's plenty of room on that platform for that. They're actually less expensive to first cost and operating cost than larger built-up systems.
Very similar design to John Small PS.
Yes, sir.
So if they wanted to go see one.
That is correct.
Go out there and check it out.
Yes.
Very
Mr. Height, can you speak to the, right over here, Jimmy. Can you speak to the timeline of when you would submit this to the Department of Strategic Planning Office?
Our plans are to submit these plans this month. We'll respond to review comments, let the project out for bids. The plan is to receive bids before the end of November. So we're still on schedule. Still on schedule.
So you're.
Yeah, I think the goal is to have them back somewhere around the 21st of November. And then, so the board would then have to make a decision in December,
Yes.
which if you backtrack, then you have to put out the RFP like mid-October or shortly after October starts.
Correct.
We'll still put this on schedule.
Yes.
Actually build it.
Yes.
Everybody's asking about. They don't, people just don't understand how much planning goes into building.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else got any questions for Mr. Height?
I just had a question. I noticed you got the feasibility studies on there. And
It was not in the grant application of that I submitted to the state.
okay. So this is the first time we've seen like this type of feasibility.
It's the first time I've done a needs-based public school capital grant fund. It's hard to say it, right? But yeah, it's the first time I've had to submit something.
Okay.
However, there is a 5-year strategic plan around facility use that we complete every 5 years, and the county commissioners have to sign off on that as well.
Okay.
Anybody got any? Anybody else got any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Height. Thank you.
Sir.
All right, moving on down, Board Policy 4130, Dr. Cheeseman, got an attachment.
Yeah, to bring you up to speed, as you know, you receive fall and spring updates from the North Carolina School Board Association around your policies. And specifically, if you turn to the second page, just above letter B as in Bob, wanted to bring you current. To my knowledge, since being here, Beaufort County Schools does not charge people tuition. And so I'm asking for your consideration to remove that line item as it's created confusion with some out-of-district transfers for your consideration. So this could be a first read if you like, or you could waive first read, or I can bring it back in 30 days.
I move that we waive it, because they're only taking out that one sentence, which.
Your mic ain't hot.
And she,
Yep.
second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Anybody else got any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Now move we approve with those changes.
Second.
All right, anybody got any questions? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
All right. 4.3, Mr. Tyson, Fieldhouse request naming. You got an attachment. Good evening, Mr. Tyson. How are you, sir?
Good.
How's sports going?
Going crazy.
I know.
Beginning of the year.
That's right.
It's too early to
How many
ask.
you got going right now?
Well, I'm missing my son's game, so got that one.
I want to go how many.
That's a
got?
lot. If you
Yeah.
don't
I mean, I
miss-
think it's either 6 or 7.
Okay,
I think 7. Plus you got JVs that go
JVs
with them.
and
so
right, thank you.
9 or 10. Just quite a bit. But the reason I wanted to present this to you guys was, and you can see my attachment up there. Mr. Bill Gore served honorably, was an amazing human being for only the 4 years that I actually got to teach with him. I hate that he retired. But I wanted to just present this to you guys because not only per your policy, he has met and exceeded every expectation that your policy has in regards to naming a facility after somebody. But he also has been the voice of the PAMPAC for 31 years. 31 years straight, he has sat in that booth and called every Friday night game. He has called many, many JV games. He has called countless basketball games. He's even helped me out and called baseball games. So he legitimately is the voice of the PAMPAC. Everybody who's grown up in this area, I'm not from here, can't say that I ever heard of him, but the moment I moved here, he was the first person I met at Washington High School, other than Dr. Swinson when he hired me. And I just think as an honor to him for his years of service, what he's done for the community, what he's done for the school, I just think to me, it's a slam dunk, no-brainer that we give him this honor and name the press box after him for 31 years straight. And he's still going into year 32, doing it again this year for free.
Just a press box.
Meets every criteria. I read back through it after I saw it attached, which you just said. It does. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I don't either. If you've ever been to any of the games that he's called, he does a phenomenal job. And I would challenge you to find someone who doesn't adore Bill Gore, any student or teacher that's taught with
Exactly.
him.
My two boys had him. He was amazing.
Actually, all you're really doing is making it official. Everybody already says it's his press box. You're
Well,
just putting it in writing, and is all you're
It'll
really
become
doing.
more official when I can get him an AC unit up there.
That's
Then we'll be good to
that's
go.
another meeting, Will. That's
Now,
another meeting.
once again, this is up as a no action item.
But it's simple.
But
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I would like to see it move to an action item
Yeah.
because I would like to see if we're going to do this award, the honor, I would like for Mr. Tyson to be able to do this during
A football
football
game.
season while
Yeah.
he's there. That's just me. Does anybody have,
Well, in that case, I would just have one question. Was there any other submissions?
No.
he's been doing it for
He's
so long.
been
Yeah.
doing it for 31 straight years.
Yeah.
We haven't had anybody else in that box.
Probably asked somebody over those years, Donald, to come help him, but they never showed up. I don't, but
I don't either.
I'm just one person.
I don't.
He's a great.
I think anybody with any connections,
To
they
Washington
know
High
the
School.
value of
Yeah.
what he's contributed on his own time, without pay, just because he bled blue, you know?
Still does.
But anyway,
Right
so,
along with
Just to
that.
see how, I'm gonna just see how it goes. I'm gonna move it, we move it to a, action item.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right.
And I'm gonna move that we name it Bill Gore Press Box.
And I'm gonna second that.
Anybody got any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You got your field house,
Now-
press box name.
Well, some things are just
Now,
simple.
Coach Tyson, I know, are you wanting this to be a surprise to Mr. Gore? Because I don't think it will be now.
I would love for it to be. I'd love to have him show up for a game, and before we start a game, we, have a, like a nice metal sign that's permanent attached to the building that we could do for him.
You might want to do that sooner rather than
Can we
later.
keep
I
it
don't-
secret in the meantime?
Well,
I
they
mean,
don't-
I can, I mean,
Well,
They don't-
I don't know if he
It-
watches or
The only
reads
request,
comments,
if you don't
but-
mind, let Dr. Cheeseman know, and so that he can let the board know, if you don't mind.
You don't play this Friday
please make
night,
sure
right?
No,
So-
we're off this Friday.
So you're off this Friday night. If you think you can
make
keep
sure
that
his
secret
family's
for 2
available.
weeks in Beaufort County, good luck.
And Mr. Shreve just brought up, once we do that, could we recognize him here as well?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know, I mean, we have a home game not this week, this following week, but then we're off for 3 weeks. So our options are, I know, I saw the face. So.
How we getting a rhythm being off for 3
We are off
weeks?
this week, it's our bye week. Then we're home next Friday. Then we're off for 3 weeks, then it's homecoming. So we've got a choice. We can
That's
try to
pretty
get it
rough
done in
schedule.
2 weeks.
Are you off, away?
He's away.
Away.
Oh, okay.
Away,
I
away,
was thinking, I
away.
thought you were saying off.
No,
Bill.
we're away.
He's saying all because he doesn't have to work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're not off 3 weeks
you-
in the middle
do
of
you
football.
think-
It's been a long day.
Yeah. Do you think you can have a sign ready in 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because
Yeah.
of the people in the room, it might slip out sooner. It'd be nice to do at homecoming, but there's so many other things going
Yeah, oh,
on.
yeah.
And senior night, you'd never keep it that long.
Oh, no, there's no way I could keep it secret that long.
Carolyn, you know how it is. We won't be home tonight before somebody stole it.
Well, you got your press box named.
I greatly appreciate it, guys.
Thank you
Thanks,
for your
Bill.
hard work with.
And then you can come back next time for that air conditioner.
Oh, I'm already working on it.
4.4, non-action item, PS Jones Middle School HVAC update.
And we
Mr.
just gave you a sign you're gonna have to install.
You get it up there, maintenance, take care of it.
There you go.
Good, Jamie.
Okay. You may have heard by now, we've had a few little issues at P.S. Jones Middle School with the HVAC. Just to give you a little back history on that. Back in November of '23, we replaced those 2 chillers that were about 17 years old. They were a pair of 140-ton RTAC units. We replaced them during the COVID funds with 2 140-ton chillers. Same size, nothing bigger, nothing fancy, other than they're a lot more efficient, and they do operate good when they stay running. The chillers that we replaced, 17, 18 years, usually we get a little more time. What we found, we had some intermittent problems with those chillers that had been going on for quite some time. We really couldn't pin it down what was causing the problem. It seemed like somebody was just going out and cutting the breakers off on those chillers from time to time. So much so that we would look at the cameras and try to figure out what in the world was going on here. Well, fast forward to December of '23, we had those chillers replaced with 2 brand new ones. Everything running fine. Come up in the summer, we're running good. Set points, new control systems, and then we get into peak loading time. For those of you who don't understand what peak loading is, TW would understand this better than I do. But when it gets extremely hot and everybody turns their air conditioners down to 60 degrees because they're now hot, it draws on the lines, sometimes where it can't supply the voltage that's needed. We first noticed an issue last week of June of this year with those chillers cutting off. Maintenance personnel started studying, trying to figure out, hey, what's going on. We called Brady Services back in. We called our energy automation people back in because they're brand new. They got warranty on them. We want to try to figure out what's going on. Nothing could be found on the chiller end, inside our building, and our automation, but we kept looking. The week of July the 15th, and I remember this real good because I was down at Duck at the time, we're having a vacation with the family, and I get a call from my guys. And we've lost these chillers, we can't keep them running, we've lost power. So we're monitoring. July 17th, we started monitoring, and I'll just give you one thing. We have been in contact with Washington Electric Utilities. My conversations back and forth with them, well, maybe it's something on your end. We double, triple checked, brought our contractors in, couldn't find nothing on our end. May not have the exact date right, but I believe it was either July 17th or July 18th. Power Source, who monitors our peak load generators at P.S. Jones, was there looking at the generator because of an issue when they recorded a loss. Provide power to the building, not peak load power, which was a surprise to everybody standing around because nobody anticipated that we were going to lose it. We communicated these numbers to Washington Electric Utilities. Washington Electric Utilities at that point communicated to me, yes, we know we have a loss of voltage on your line down at PS Jones, down Small, during peak load times. I say he communicated that they knew they had a problem. This is something that just didn't start. So my question to the Washington utilities are, what are you gonna do to help us keep kids in the school? I said, because I can't control this, you can. They said, we're looking into it. Fast forward up to this week, we managed to get through a lot of the heat that we had and rain. We had a lot of heat last week. Started Tuesday, we started having failure again. Washington Utilities was called. Wednesday, we had the Washington Electric Utilities out at PS Jones. They are currently monitoring the three-phase transformer at that facility to see if they can find anything wrong with it. While we were there with them, we did record an event. When I say an event, that is a loss of voltage that makes our system go down. And Friday morning, early morning, maintenance staff was on hand to start the chiller back up again at 4 a.m. We got the building back up and cooled. Once we got it running, we had a roundtable discussion with our maintenance staff, and with the help of our IT partners over there, we kind of borrowed a UPS from them, tied into the system. And since we've hooked that UPS, we've been able to keep the chiller running even when we start going dark. I say start going. .24 volt control system that the chillers do what they're supposed to do. They can shut down to protect themselves. Our old chillers didn't have these protections built into them. Our new chillers do. So we don't have to ask for another $350,000 to put new chillers in. That being said, we are currently working with Washington Electric Utilities. They are monitoring the three-phase transformer that's there now. I believe they'll remove that monitor tomorrow, sit down with their engineers. I'm currently trying to set up a meeting with Beaufort County Schools employees, Brady Train, Energy Automation, and Washington Electric Utilities for next week to get together and see if we can come to a resolution of what the problem is. Any questions?
I got you before the meeting, but to let the public know, if you don't mind, I sent it to you in a text, that way you can remember it, but we need some voltage data on some increment data and some current data so they can, and power factor, so they can understand what's going on. They should be able to measure that at that transformer for a week, fairly easy. And they need to understand that if they burn our $350,000 chiller up, that Washington Utilities insurance is gonna be helping with some, or paying for our chillers.
Great.
So,
Okay. I was gonna say something, once again, we're thinking alike. I was gonna say, make sure you're documenting, as it sounds like you have, but also know that on, well, nothing like a chiller, but I've had equipment smaller than that, that it would ruin by having that event like that.
If you haven't, when you have enough events where they're shut
Right.
down at
Right.
100%, it's got to wear them.
That, and your startup, that's where you're running into your problem out there. You two guys are the experts.
I don't know
All I know
HVAC.
is I've seen equipment get torn up before doing that.
I know power, and I know
So-
what power does low voltage.
Yeah, just keep up with everything, because we're gonna be knocking on the door if it happens.
Yeah. So we're currently working with, collaborating with them, trying to figure out what the problem is. It was reported back to me that we put in some equipment that we didn't have engineered. And I shut that down real quick.
Right.
Brady Services engineered
Right.
everything that we put in before it was put in. We didn't change no switch gears, we didn't upgrade no pumps to bigger pumps. We didn't put 180 tons in when we were running 140. We went 140 and it was engineered to the T. So that system, if it's got
And we are thankful for 60-degree nights and then maybe even 50.
questions? All right, moving on down. Action items, everybody's got a Title IX resolution, Charles,
I trust everyone got their email and was able to open the attachments. And that was the latest version, and I made just some minor changes to update from what you originally saw. So, what do you think? I got a motion on the floor from last time.
well, no, you didn't. You didn't have it on the agenda, and it weren't, you just said, I got it in my book. You didn't ever say I had a motion.
Well, do
I
it
move
this-
that we do it.
There you
All
go.
right, there you go.
Can I ask you one question? Because I'm in favor of it, and I read it the first time, but then you just said, did you make any change I need to read again? Because I was fine with
It's
what
the
you
same one he
had.
sent on email.
Well, he said, I
It's
know,
the same
but I
one.
thought he just said he made a change or something.
The only thing I did was change the dates.
Oh, that's-
To make it more
forget that.
relevant.
Forget that,
And
Charles.
the only other change I made was to specifically mention the North Carolina Attorney General.
That's fine.
Which, we're covering anyway because we're looking at Castle State to give it to them, but specifically mention that
That's
because
fine.
they generally get the ball rolling in other states.
You had the second, didn't you? Did you?
I'll second it.
Okay, all right, any more discussion?
No more-
Matt?
As the changes that he's proposed, which sounds like were minor,
Yeah.
have they been run through the school attorney? No, sir.
I thought he said he only changed the date.
I would,
Do you see a problem?
This was not presented to me to give
this
to your
is only
attorney.
a resolution that tells what we think. I don't think we need a lawyer for this.
It's not a legal document.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as we're, I
Um,
don't want to get
I'm good. All right,
Only just one more question, and I've actually asked him, but I want to, they might need to hear it, is, who does it go to?
That's a good question, because
Okay.
I probably need some guidance. I'm figuring to send it to the Council of State for sure, because that covers some of the state school board, and send courtesy copies probably to our Representative Kidwell and Brinson,
Okay.
and probably the Speaker of the House and
Okay.
and President Pro Tem of the Senate. If you can think of anything else, I'll take the advice.
I think you've thought,
Attorney General?
yeah, that's probably.
yeah, I think
Well,
you've
he-
thought
yeah,
through it.
He'll be on the
That's
Council of
okay.
State.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get one.
okay.
No,
So
I'm
we got
fine
a-
with that.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
No.
There, sir.
that's you.
Oh, we're up to my,
Yeah.
all ready? I move that we go into closed session pursuant to General Statutes 143, 318, 11A1 to prevent disclosure of confidential personnel files under General Statutes 115C3,